In order to start recording, you're going to need to know a bit about microphones and mic placement. When we talk about XLR microphones, we're talking about the connector that's used to connect the mic to an audio interface, mixer, or any other device that accepts XLR mic inputs. This kind of connector lets you use really long cable runs. It's not uncommon to use a 50-foot XLR mic cable. Now, XLR is considered the standard audio connector for microphones that are used in recording studios and in live sound venues. So if you're using an XLR microphone with your audio interface for home recording, you can also plug that same mic into a mixer for a live performance. When you're shopping for an XLR microphone, you'll have a lot of choice. There are two main types of XLR mics: dynamic and condenser mics. These mics use completely different technology to pick up sound. Here's an example of a dynamic mic. This is a Shure SM57. You'll see this mic used in both live sound and studio recordings. This microphone is one of the most popular microphones ever made, and for good reason. It's a great, versatile mic. This is the first microphone I ever owned, and I still use it on virtually every recording project I do. Where should you put the mic when recording? Most microphones are unidirectional, which is often called cardioid. That means they pick up sound in one direction. Now this mic is an end address mic, which means the pickup is at the end. You can think of this microphone like a flashlight. You illuminate the thing you want to record. So for a vocal, you point it at your mouth, which is the main sound source. But for an acoustic guitar, the sound source is the entire guitar, so it's not as obvious exactly where you should point the mic. If you point it towards the neck, you'll get a brighter sound, and if you point it towards the body, you'll get a bassier tone. Part of the fun and part of the challenge of recording is experimenting with mic placement to find the sweet spot for the microphone. Now let's look at a couple of condenser mics. Both are made by a company called Audio-Technica. This one's called a 4050, and this one is a Pro 37. One important thing to know about condenser mics is that these mics need power. Remember when we looked for a switch labeled 48V or Phantom on your audio interface? For most condenser microphones, you can use that switch to send power to the mic. In some cases, however, a condenser mic will use a battery instead. So if you have a condenser mic, make sure to check the manual or manufacturer's website to find out what your mic needs for power. Now, the Audio-Technica Pro 37 is an end address mic, just like the Shure SM57. So to use it, you just point the end towards the sound you're recording. The 4050, however, is a side address mic. That means that unlike the SM57 and the Pro 37, where we point the end of the mic towards the sound, instead we have to point the side of the mic towards the sound. But which side? Well, it's not always obvious. Often it's the side of the mic that has the logo or branding, but not always. The best way to check is by doing a test recording. Try talking into both sides of the mic, and you should notice right away that one side is a lot louder and clearer than the other, and that's the side you want to use. If you want to use the flashlight analogy, just pretend the light is shining out the side and point it towards the sound you want to record. One last thing about mic placement. In most cases, you'll want to position the mic somewhere between 3 to 12 inches away from the source. The closer the mic is to the sound source, the more direct sound you'll get from that source, and the less of an effect the room is going to have on the overall sound. Ultimately, the best way to get really good at mic placement is to experiment and use your ears. There is no absolute right or wrong way to place a microphone. If it sounds good to you, it sounds good. If it doesn't, move the mic. Obviously, there's a lot to learn about microphones and mic placement, and you'll learn more as you go. But this is all you really need to know to record your first track.